Hey everybody, Theta here, back with another Stone Face Reactions. Don't know why I did that. Pointing at my face with all five fingers. Anyway, uh, here for, I guess, the final episode of Crest of the Stars, and I know it goes into Banner of the Stars afterwards, but technically, last episode also turns out to be double the length. So we have that to look forward to as well. Not much to note here, as not much has actually been answered to any of the previous questions that I put out there. I know somebody did point out that when Jinto went to fire the gun at the people who were trying to kidnap them from the car in a previous episode, that to my comments about the gun being like a flashlight mixed in, that he was in flashlight mode. I did not pick that up. I thought that he was just running out of energy in his gun and fired a low powered beam at them. So I guess that makes it even funnier that it co-ops as a flashlight slash gun, because it just implies that he was rather incompetent in that scenario, and proved to lafiel that he really does need her around, even on the ground. But then again, after that, we got so many more scenes of her kicking ass to save him and all that kind of stuff, so there is that. Otherwise, I think the only other thing of note here is the board, where I have added Alanga here as the well, he was the lieutenant in charge of trying to arrest everybody, who then lafiel screwed up by, I keep thinking, because I don't know what they are, throwing the recharge packs into the vehicles and blowing them up as a distraction. Because they act like flash grenades, right? But nobody has indicated to what they are. And the only reason why I could think that she would have a ton of them would be as reloads, but we haven't actually seen them carrying any of that. Could have been in the backpacks, I guess. Don't know. Anyway, that's how we get screwed over. And of course, he is in communication with Kurite's um, superiors, so that's where that connection comes from. Technically, I guess they're both on the same mission, but not really in cahoots. And of course, we have the Duchess Leptopano, who is also in the same line of command as Trife. Obviously, she commands her own little interfleet with the Fortune and its cruisers, I guess escorts maybe. And Trife is directly commanding these, who have ranks of captain and everything, but they're on his ship. So I've kind of just put her as an extension. I believe Trife, being the commander of the entire operation, still holds command over her. So there's that. There's been no other further consensus about the fact that Rina is Jinto's sister, or rather, argument over the previous comment that I said that other people had told me that Rina is more Jinto's adopted mother and is wife of Teal, which I mean may be true in the novels, which I haven't heard either way, mind you, but is not what I feel like was expressly said in the episode itself. If so, then why would she have Jinto's name and not Teal's name? Is Teal a Lin? Because it only seemed like Teal worked for Rock, not that he was like Rock's brother or something. I swear to God, I swear I heard that Rina was Jinto's sister. Your sister, I told to run away. That sort of thing, right? Other than that, the board is still as all encompassing as it needs to be at the moment. We include the dead because they were members of the story, and there's no reason to take them away. But as I said, where's Rena? I have to ask every episode. I suppose we're going to get into the Banner of the Stars, and that's not going to be answered yet either. But without much else, I say we just go ahead and get into it. It's a double-length episode. Going to have a lot of stuff to cover afterwards, I'm sure. If not, I'll be disappointed. Otherwise, I've also got the double length of note taking to go through as well, so it'll be a long time. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Crest of the Stars, episode 13. Okay, right where we left off last time.
大丈夫か？ひどい格好の王女だ。そなたこそ。
Oh, okay. I thought they were going to be in, like, Min's property.
こんなとこに繋がってたのか。緊急事態ってなんであろう。僕たちのことじゃないとしたら想像もつかないな。とにかく早くで。
Why would you even think it had anything to do with anything else?
お待ちください。お待ちください。あなたたちは正規の入り口以外から当園に入場なさっています。ただいまから警備員が事情を伺いに参ります。
録画よい。
お待ちください。
そなたたち規制隊ではないであろうな。
違います。でも子供たちには秘密ですよ。夢を壊してしまうから。
This is adorable and scary at the same time.
でもなんか気がする。
Yeah, no, don't destroy the mascots.
すまない。けどグズグズしてたら奴らが来る。
The mascots are self-aware enough to not want to disappoint the kids. Oh, wait, never mind, they're capitalists.
されないうちに消えるがよいぞ。ごめんよ。
ほら、凶悪そのものでしょう。侵入者から離れろ。第24項機能を解除する。急ぎましょう。警部。
Thank you, park manager.
邪魔になる。そうしたいのにできないんですよ。さっきから電波が妨害されてて音声制御だけじゃこれが精一杯です。
あんたは何か知っていそうだよな。
確かに命令を受けました。軍標準時1200から電波妨害を始める。ついては当分の間命令通達は不可
I'm
能にな
thinking
る
he's
が
a secret ab. I've been thinking that the whole time.
俺は電波妨害の理由を聞いてるんだがな。
それは知りません。
なるほど。アーブが帰ってきたんだな。
あぶらしく嫌みったらしい。
Oh, so they didn't surrender.
近づいたわね。宇宙船。
見ればわかるって。
違うわ。私たちの宇宙船によ。急ぎましょう。なんだ。
They're jamming transmissions. That means they're still in orbit, which means they're still going to be fighting.
彼に聞こう。そうだな。
いらっしゃいませ。
出口はどこか聞きたいんだけど。
なんですって？もうお帰りになる？そりゃ釣れないよ。
臨時閉園なんだよ。知らないの？
まさかこの具雑煮幻想園は24時間営業を売り物にしていて。
だから臨時なんだろう。教えてくれるのくれないの？
仕方ないな。
Not a pretty good kiosk when you have to badger the mascots to figure a way out.
あんたのお仲間らしいな。
そうでしょうか。
しょうがないんですよ、警部。ここの動物たちは道交法を知らないらしくて。
ここは道路じゃないからな。こんなことなら空中艇を持ってくればよかった。
応援呼びますか？
バカ野郎、そんな暇あるか。
お、警部、あそこ。
しまった。
よし、行け。
ここじゃダメだ。
Does the inspector plot armor? Why would this be the one time we don't shoot something?
全員下車。全員発砲準備。追跡。
ごめん、取らせて。許すがよい。悪い子だ。ごめんよ。
Ah, the mascots are so adorable. I don't want anything bad to happen to them.
何？我らは今道を戻っているぞ。しょうがないじゃないか。だって。 敵の連中がいるんだっけ。忘れてたのかな。そなた神々しいばかりにのんきだな。感心したぞ。ありがとう。
おや、お帰りにならなかったんで、今度こそ何か買ってってください
Oh,
よ。
I thought they were going to go back into the tunnel.
もちろん。ねえ。
やばい。
Oh, of course.
ラビールこっちだ。
あれ？どこ行っちゃうの？お客さんが。
No, I thought they were going to go back down the tunnel they came because they wouldn't expect them to double back like that.
急ぐがよい。あれは3階索敵中
notices a massive difference between this and the police forces that are chasing them.
こりゃ戦場だぞ。本職の剣闘士が殴り合ってるのに力自慢のガキが出ていくようなもんだ。いいか
Exactly, yeah.
ところはな、警官の職場じゃない。早く下がれ。車まで撤収だ。
警部、奴らすぐ目の前にいるんですよ。ここで引き下がっては。
どうしても捕まえときゃ、あそこにいるお仲間のところへ行けばいいだろう。くそったれね。こんなところに来たのが間違いだった。
I really thought the inspector had the heads up by knowing where they were going to come out ahead of time. But it didn't seem like that helped at all. Given the soldiers were just chasing them so closely anyway. So I'm thrown off because I am so worried about the
当
mascots.
たり前であろう。わしたちの眷属が分かったよ。ラフィール。
Oh, I thought she got caught or something.
情けないけど疲れたみたいだ。倍の重力もある事情で。
Like it looks like she got pulled back by the dress catching on something. I thought that's what happening.
王家の侍従長が見たら痙攣の発作を起こすであろうな。礼儀にうるさい人なの。うん。叱られてばかりいた。でも優雅に振る舞うべき時空には私はいくらでも優雅に振る舞えるのだから構わないんだと思う。信じるよ。残念ながら僕はその優雅に
Wonder if Jinto's ever gonna meet this person?
遭遇してないみたい。
Considering Jinto was on his way to school when all this stuff happened.
そう。それ以上何か言うなら引き裂くぞ。それは困るな。今突入されたらひとたまりもないな。行こう。いっそのことおぶってあげようか。バカ。かつての彼女ならこうやって素直に肩を借りただろうか。高校日誌を持って一人で行けと言い張ったに違いない。嬉しかった。
How far away is Jinto from hallucinating again?
とっても。
ずいぶん重い子供たちだな。本当は大人なんじゃないのかい？
体重超過で悩んでいる子供さ。
こんな大きい子供を2人も乗せるなんて初めてだよ。
Must be American
平
kids.
気さ。
よかった。じゃあもっと急げる。出口まで。
もちろん。
ジント。来るぞ。
Camera has a habit of accentuating things I would not expect a show like this to accentuate.
もっと急いで。左上。そっちはダメだ。
近道さ。
捨てるがよい。キリがないぞ。
走りにくいな。何をしているんだろう。
追ってくる。お、真似してる。任せたぞ。私は手が回らない。そんなこと言ったって。もっと早く。
Let me see if anything of those flash grenade things to throw.
最後の一個。
There we go. Yeah, this park has a lot of
ゴミ
mascots.
のポイ捨て禁止。
悪い子なんだ僕は。
ほら出口だよ。
Oh, not the pony.
大丈夫。
僕はここまでしか行けないから。
ありがとう。まだ来る。急ぐがよい。
I legit feel bad for these inanimate creatures.
またのご利用を。
危険危険、遮断扉が閉まります。扉から離れてください。危険危険、遮断扉が閉まります。扉から
なぜだ、諦めるのか。
そうだよ。見て、あれは領民の警察だ。敵に捕まるよりまだいいじゃないか。
引き渡されたら
Especially if the OBS win in orbit and you're in custody.
今ここで戦えば確実に死ぬ。
俺はルーヌビーガシ警察のエントリア警部だ。5日前に発生した不要者強盗事件について話を聞きたい。
逮捕するんですか？
いや、任意同行だ。もっとも器物損壊、武器不法所持については現行犯逮捕できそうだな。
正当防衛を
Not a bad guy.
と思うから殺人は数えなかったんだ。だけど同行した方が身のためだ。このままじゃ占領軍に殺されちまう。
ラフィール、
そなたの判断を信じよう。
そうだ、素直に従ってくれれば手荒な真似はしない。
甘いですよ警部。
統合隊
騙したな。
待て、誤解だ。俺たちは占領軍に協力してるんじゃない。最高責任者は俺だ。俺の言う通りにしてくれれば問題ない。
とんでもない。問題はあります。武装解除したかどうかもちゃんと調べてないじゃないですか。どうして信用できるんです？
アーブの名誉にかけて誓う。武器はこれ以上持っていない。
ダメだ。
Except the United Mankind Army catches you, they'll use you as a bargaining chip when they take over an orbit.
いい加減にしろ。
とっとと言われたようにしないか。どうせ貴様らには倫理もなく羞恥心もないんだろうが、忌まわしい合成人間、陰頭の青め。
あんたが
I called him wrong.
私はいくつだと思います？
そりゃ27、8ってところか。
今年49になります。
何？俺より年上が。そうか、遺伝子改造だな。
シレジア共和国という国をご存知ありませんか？
いや、
120年ほど前、戦争に敗れ人類統合体の一部になった国の名です。遺伝子改造はそこで行われていました。と言ってもただ不老化処置を施しただけですが。
その指定があんたって。
Okay, so non-genetic modification.
3代も前の話じゃないか。
何代前でも関係ありません。私の戸籍にははっきりとシレジア不老族と書かれているんです。
そのせいで組織からないがしろにされてるってわけだな。それなのにどうしてそこまで熱心になれるんだ？
さあ脱いでみろ。
そんなことできるか。
So I was right about what I was thinking. I came to the wrong conclusion.
ジント、貴様許さぬぞ。
ダメだ、ラフェール。
Ah, it's Min. Min's back.
話すがよい。時間がないんだったらあいつを、ジントをこんな目に遭わせたあいつを、私が宇宙を吹き渡る一陣のプラズマ
I
に
love the loyalty they now have. Or I guess I've always had.
真空空間じゃないんだから。地上に横たわる黒焦げの死体。いいところだよ。
いいわよビル。
行くぞ。
The long-lasting smoke screen.
なんてかって。
この役立たずども、武器を返せ。
同情してたんだがな。あんたやりすぎだぜ。追跡だ、追跡。
Not gonna stay immortal if you keep pulling that shit.
今度は何だってんだよ。
大丈夫かジント。
かすり傷だよ。ダスワに
That's like a Back to the Future car.
どうしてあそこに出ると分かったの？
You know the wheels do
本
this.
流に出ると再開は困難だ。出口はいくらでもあるからな。それで幻想園で網を張っていたのだ。それが大当たりってわけで。
撃たれる前に来てほしかったな。
贅沢抜かすな。そんなことより何か言いたいことがあるんじゃないのかな。 例えば感謝の言葉とか、あるいは感謝の
Exactly.
言葉とか、ひょっとして感謝の言葉とか。
100万の感謝を。
けどまた人質
Yeah,
に
but
するつもりなんでしょ。
except for like before,
私
wouldn't
た
have
ちは
been
宇宙船
here
が
if
欲
he
し
didn't
い
try to take us hostage from a hotel room.
わざわざこんな危険を冒して。
私の人質には大変な価値があるんじゃないかってあなたたちと別れた後になって気づいたのよ。私も同時ね。アーブのお嬢さんに質問があるの。
なんだ。
アブリアルの耳は皇族以外にも許されるのかってこと。
いいや。
そう、やっぱりね。そろそろお名前をお聞かせ願えるかしら。殿下。
アブリアル・ネイディブレスク・パリューニュ子爵ラフィール。
なぜあんたをここまで連れてきたかわかりますか？
惚れられたかな。
道案内です。地獄へのね。
Because he's one of the moles that knows a
捕
lot
ま
of
えたら目の前でま
network
ずあん
things.
たを殺す。次に逮捕を妨害した霊族主義者たちを、そして奴の愛玩動物になり果てた青年を殺します。アーブの技術性が少しでも感情じみたものを持っていれば悲しむふりでもするでしょうよ。
なぜそこまでする？
奴らが許せないからですよ。いつだって奴らが最後に得をするのが幸運を常に手に入れることが。
嫉妬ってわけか。
ネイドブレスクっていや皇帝の
Yeah, I just don't get him.
これは宇宙船どころか独立が手に入るかも。
決まりよビル。葬儀場に向かうわ。
とりあえずこの場を逃げる
It's like he suffers from the racism of his own kind that they all have for the job.
諦めた方が良いのではないか。
But he's turned out
奴らが追っ
weird
てるのは
because of
我
it.
らだ。巻き添えにはしたくない。
腕。
奴ら警察じゃないわ。
任せとけって。こういう時のために安全機構は全部取っ払ってあるんだ。ぶっちぎるぜ。
何かあるミン。
旧カミンテール共和
I
国
mean, it seems safe. They seem to be shooting at the ground like they're trying to take out your tires, of which you do not have.
持ってけ。ついでにこれもおまけだ。
なんだ今の。
感知地雷。
減速するな。ただの煙幕だ。
The smoke screen element doesn't hurt.
違うか。電磁石をやられました。停車だ。止まるなバカ野郎。ぶつかるぞ。事故だ。
It's a real Smokey and the Bandit moment.
心がけなきゃな。
確か今電波妨害の最中だったわね。
ああ、まだ続いている。奴らには応援は呼べない。
でも何
That
か
dude ain't giving up. That dude's gone crazy.
びっくりさせないでよ、消防艇じゃない。
確かにあれは火事だからな。
ねえ、敵の乗っていたのは警察車だったよね。
それが
敵は警察車を乗っ取ったん
Then
だ
they're
よ。
seizing the fire
消防局は
department.
遠慮するかな。
市民たちに次ぐ我々の捜査に協力せよ。
ご覧なさい、あの信号。あれは交通局を抑えたという知らせですよ。まもなく地下走路は止められ、我が軍兵士が溢れ返る。アーブに逃げ道はありません。
I mean, you're going crazy overboard considering you probably lost the fight in orbit
や
already.
はりここで別れよう。
言ったでしょ。私たちは十分巻き添えにされてるの。もうここまで来たらただでは引き下がれないわ。
独立や船は不可能であるけれど、クリューボ王家はこれまでの行為に対して感謝の証をもたらすであろう。
宇宙船じゃなきゃダメなのよ。
それは無理だというに。
かすんならいいんじゃないかな。
ああ、それならできるかもしれないな。
じゃあ約束して王女様。船を貸してくれるって。
約束できるのは皇帝陛下にお願いすることだけだ。
それで構わないわ。
Kind of like we did with the whole vassal
再び陛下に
situation.
謁見できたなら
So you can pass it up,
必ず
pass it up
経験してもらうわ
the
よ
tier, the hierarchy.
私たちなら宇宙に返してあげられるわ。
どういうこと？
葬儀屋は葬儀屋なのよ。
これ あの時からなんだろうと思ってた。でっかい墓だったのか。
墓地と葬儀場間違えるな。許しがたい間違いだぜ。
ごめん。
What
じゃあ
is the difference?
あれは何？
棺桶だ。
なんだって。
墓地はあそこ。まったくお前たち若いもんと来たらしきたりを恐ろしいほど知らんな。
そなたは非常識だな。人が死ねば遺骸を真空に流すのは当然だろう。
へえ。まさか。
見つけましたよ。
I guess I was right. I said they could be memorials. That's kind of what they are.
おい、市街西北部へ向かえ。
葬儀準備開始せよ。
あれは何です？
さあ、俺はここらの地理には疎くてね。
調べればわかるんですよ。
じゃあ、そうすればいいさ。
アーブに逃げ道はありません。私が必ず捕まえてみせる。
マルカ、奴らが来た。だが心配はいらない。例の消防艇だけだ。
That explains the next time on
発射準備ができる。
why they'd be flying through the air in a coffin.
やっと余裕が出てきたみたいね。
I am disappointed that I didn't put these two things
ここで
together.
生まれ育ったのよ。間抜けなよそ者になんか捕まらないわ。それより発射塔から出た直後が危ないわよ。そこなんてないんだから気をつけて。
ありがとう。でもどうやって気をつけたらいいかな。そうだもできないのに。
方法は一つ。祈るのよ。
そんなバカな、そんなバカらしいやり方で逃げようなんて。なぜ教えてくれなかったんです？
Understand this
クラス
language.
ビル式の葬儀のことを。
聞かれなかったからな。
まだか応援は。
今来ました。
何台だ
5台です。
たったの5台か。
どこに着陸すればいいのか尋ねてきてますが。
発射体制やるものを探すんだ。見つけたら直ちに撃破だ。いいか、直ちにだ。
急げ。
And
30
it's
秒後に
effectively
発
gonna
射
just
だ。
turn into a projectile, right?
宇宙船のこと忘れないでね。
必ず願おう。
There's not gonna be much stopping it.
死体の気持
Bullet
ちを味わえるとはね。
fire to
まだ痛
space.
むのか。
かすり傷さ。
屈辱だ。考え空識企画もない偶兵区もない船に乗らないといけないなんて。
これは船じゃないよ。
Still don't know what the
棺桶なんだよ。
Gohake is.
棺桶。
狭いな。急にそなたがいとわしくなってきた。あまり近づくな。
怪我人なんだよ。気をつけてよ。
かすり傷なんだろう。
Is this a Jinto hallucination or is it really happening?
何？
許すがよい。
何を？
そなたは
今度この中に入るときはおしゃべりできないね。
バカ。
今言っとくよ。
Ouch, that was poignant as hell.
何をだ。
その時まで君のそばにいる。
And that was pretty touching.
何をしておる。
Did not think they were gonna fire like that. I thought it was gonna be like a.
体当たりしろ。くそ。
They ain't gonna do that.
大変は大がないか。対空隊は何をしている。とにかくあの空飛ぶ迷惑を撃墜するんだ。
This dude's fucking insane.
許さんぞ。こんな幸運は絶対許さん。
無駄ですよ。空飛ぶ迷惑は天かける迷惑になっちまった。
天かける迷惑か。そいつはいいや。
Now, for some reason, I thought it was gonna like railgun them into the sky.
なぜあちらだけにこんな幸運が。神は我らを呼び知ったわずか。たった一人の生贄すら与えてくださらないのか。それで心慰められるものをなぜだ。
千人参謀、緊急通信です。
転送しろ。
はい。
指令室。
So it does eject them,
ラード
though.
ビル氏の偵察艇が衛星軌道上で漂流者を救助したそうです。
それで？
その漂流者ですが、パリウニュス爵殿下とハイド伯爵閣下と名乗っておられるそうです。
そうですか。そのお姿は伯爵公子が殿下にその奇妙な服を着せ、お串を。
She is tied to that family, though, or closely
それ
associated
は
with.
仕方なく。いいえ、素晴らしいですわ、公子。主刑将士になると聞いたけれど、ぜひ私の下で戦ってほしいものです。
気にするな、ジント。そなたを出しに私をからかって喜んでいるのだ。それがスポールなんだ。
とにかくまず講師には手当てが必要ね。
Also, we know that she was a pilot trainee, so that diss we understood.
ゆっくりお二人の冒険談をお聞かせください。それにしても全くどうしたら可能だったの？殿下にこんな面白い格好をさせて肩一つで許してもらえるなんて。
私が撃ったわけじゃないぞ。
僕らはようやくテートに着いた。
Wow, just fucking jumping ahead, are we?
やっとゴースロスの死を知らされた。
The Duchess didn't fucking tell you?
私とプラキア卿を愛し合い、お互いの特権を利用して盛大に迷惑をかけ合ったものだ。
特権？迷惑をかけるのがですか？
迷惑をかけられることがだよ。安心したよ、幼子。そなたはまだ恋するには早いんだ。
そうであろうか。教えてたまわれ。私がプラキア卿の船に乗り込むことになったのは父上のお考えか？
偶然にしては出来すぎであろうな。私が育てた宝をあの人に仕上げて欲しかったのだ。
もう一つ
Am I
だけ
forgetting
教えてた
part of
まわれ。
Lexu's name?
プラキア卿は私をどう評価したかご存知か？
Sometimes I just don't remember the Plakia part.
そなたを誇りに思うと。
誇りに。
I don't want to be sad anymore.
冷酷で非情なるアブリアルが涙を流したら、これまで先祖たちが作ってきた悪名はどうなるであろう。アブリアルに生まれた者に泣く権利はないのだ。一族しかおらずとも安心するでない。どうしても泣きたくなったら人知れず泣くがよい。
父上はずるい。
No, that was it. Captain Lexu, Ufrodel, Plakia. I forgot that the last name was the given name.
それから僕は故郷とのつながりが完全に断たれたことを聞かされた。不思議と悲しみは湧いてこなかった。なぜだろう。きっと僕はあの時すでに故郷を失っていたのだ。その後、全ハイド伯爵、つまり僕の父の処刑が確認された。
Oh, no.
ハイド政権は人類統合体の一員として帝国と戦うという新首相ティル・コリントの下で。
I fucking called it. Teal was an ass from the beginning.
それ
ディアーホだ。ホーリアの娘のザネリアのそのまた息子だ。
じゃあ君はこの猫のおばさんだ。
バカ。 そなたは
that you may be related to a cat joke.
入学するのであったな。
あ、これから3年間の学校生活だ。いや、なっちゃうな。君の方は？
まだ乗り込む船は決まっていない。
そう。まあ、ゆっくりすればいいさ。決まったらしばらく先人暮らしなんだろ
う。うん。3年か。3年経てば主系列抑止士なんだな。
あ、順調にいけばね。
3年経てば私は10省長になってるだろう。小さな船をもらえるはずだ。護衛艦か突撃艦か。私は突撃艦を希
Serve on
望
the
している
same
け
ship,
ど。
though, right?
突撃艦には初期として主系列抑止士が1人必要だ。その政界軍の伝統としてある程度船の人事には艦長の意図が干渉する余地がある。絶対にというわけじゃないけど、艦長と本人が望めば叶うんだ。
未来のアブリアル10省長。
I feel like they're gonna have that same relationship that the Duchess
列抑止士というものがいた。
and their supply officer had. Like that was just a build up to that.
忠実な初期として。
うん。そなたがそういうのなら仕方ないな。3年後、私が10省長になるのは決まったようなものだから、あとはそなたが精進して守備よく主刑将士にならねばならぬぞ。
はいはい。 努力するさ、ラフィール。
では晩餐の時にまた会おう、ジント。私は何かと忙しいんだ。
おい、ディアホは？
そなたが気に入ったみたいだからな。話し相手になってもらうがよい。どうせ暇であろう。
まったく。
Isn't this an intelligent officer's job?
ラフィール、君は相変わらず嘘が下手だな。けれど嬉しいよ。また君のそばにいられるんだ。僕は年老いる。寿命も君の半分しかない。けれどできる限り君のそばにいよう。君が翡翠の玉座に着くその時、あるいは
I don't know why I'm so sad all of a sudden.
砕け散るその時、僕は必ず君のそばにいてみせる。それが僕の意志だ。自分の意志で選択した未来だ。
Me saying good things all up until that we'll only have half the time together thing. Though to be fair, given the fact that most Ob have like a pride thing going on, and a not wanting to lose or a willingness to go up against instrumental odds, I don't think most Ob live to their full lifespan. Also, wow, what is it going to be? 8 minutes of 8 minutes of credits? I was like, I don't think this has been 40 minutes yet. Huh. Yeah, I guess amongst things, sorry, my neck is in a pain today. Amongst things I don't think I fully understand was, let's see, what's his name? Sorry, while I have the background music to go with. What was the lieutenant's name? Lieutenant Kirite. So I understand he was part of another human faction that committed the crime. Apparently it was legal there, but it's a crime everywhere else. Genetic modification. And they called them immortal, but they also were calling the Ob immortal at the very beginning, or at least Jinto was. So it's not possible he's just like a human that lives a lot longer. And they get brought in to the united mankind through conquest, I believe is what was indicated. And of course the rest of the united mankind are going to segregate them out, or obviously they didn't, but they still don't want him to like get any good merits or anything, because they didn't want to give him credit. But the fact he's gotten his way up to lieutenant means that despite their efforts, he's clawed his way up the system. So I mean, you still gotta give him credit, but then he just went fucking insane. Like he's never been on a hunt for an Ob before. So I guess I'm just kind of confused by his mental instability in the face of what he's essentially already been doing, right? When you get like a preview of the Banner of the Stars, or an ad for the books? What's coming up? 3 years later. I'm just gonna assume that's what that means.
私からフトゥーネを取り上げるですって？
承知の通り、3年前の海戦でかなり艦を消耗してね。ようやく陣容は整った。君には艦隊を率い、トライフ大提督の下で一翼を担う。
Again.
辞令は3日後だ。それまで身辺整理をしてほしい。新しい司令部の人事については後で相談しよう。おめでとう、スポール提督。
おめでとうですって。
Promotion away from the thing that she wanted to do.
この身はすでに大公爵なのよ。何を嬉しそうな顔していらっしゃるのかしら、仙人参謀。
いえ。
ほら、喜んでおよろしいのよ。あなたも身辺整理を急いで。
I anticipate this is just what Lafiel and Jindo's relationship is going to be.
ちょっと待ってください。
みんなも昇進よ。連れて行ってあげるわ。
私の考える宇宙船生活ってこんなんじゃないわ。
しょうがないだろ
う。愛する夫や子供と別れて新宇宙まで来たのに、どうして帝国の言うままに荷物運びなんかしなきゃいけないのよ。
しょうがないだろう。その荷物運びだって俺たちがやってるわけじゃねえんだ。 実際にそう出してるのはアーブだ。俺たち
Just
のやっ
like
て
you
る
were
ことと
told.
いえば、こうやって酒を飲んでるか増えてく貯金を眺めてるだけ。
しょうがないだろ
う。まあ来るべきクラスビュール
I don't think it changes much for men except for being in space.
気も楽じゃないか。しかも帝国の協力によって実に愉快だ。
何が愉快よ。
戦争が終わるまで気楽に待とう。
戦争が終わるですって。まだろくに始まってもいないじゃないの。
しょうがないだろう。
あんたしょうがない
I knew that Min was already rich before all this,
茨に飛ば
apparently.
れた男の話はしたっけな。
聞いた。何百回も。
Oh, and the vassals.
まったく危ないところだったわ。持続密度がかなり下がっていたのよ。ところが遠隔監視機構の思考結晶が劣化していて、現状の代わりに記憶層の
私にまで嘘つくのはやめてちょうだい。またやったわねセールナイ。
バレたか。
Oh, was I right?
どうして何でもない燃料層まで修
That they
理しち
just
ゃうのよ。
went with their own independence?
電源のみと電源修理じゃ料金が全然違うんだもん。
そりゃそうだけどね。そんなことしなくても仕事はいくらでもあるじゃない。そろそろ当局が不思議がってるところよ。
大丈夫。私たちの後ろにはクリューブオケがついてるわ。
Oh no, they did. Okay, they got
すぎるのは良くないわ。
the vassal ship, right?
このセール内商会の会長は私よ。
私やグレーダがいなくても平気ってこと？
いいえ。
じゃあ今回のことはなかったことにするわ。請求するのは正規の点検料のみ。
I like that. I like that for them. It's cute.
艦長、食料および受品の積み込み完了しました。
ここは私とそなたしかいないぞ、ジンと。
会いたかったよ。
いいか、重大な秘密を打ち明けよう。私も会いたかった。
秘密は守るよ。
You two are fucking adorable.
それにしても君は変わらないな。3年前のまんまだ。
3年やそこらで変わってたまるか。そなたはちょっと老けたな。
大人びたって言ってくれ。鼻先で笑ったな。
I'm aging and you're not.
ここには2人しかいないと言ったであろう。
他人のいる前であんまり親しげに振る舞うわけにもいかないだろ
う。式に関わるからな。
うっかりってことがある。
Fuck that.
普段から艦長とかアブリアル10省長って呼ぶ癖をつけておいた方がいいんじゃないかな。
そうしたいのか。
そう従ってると思う。
ならば
Come on, camera.
ラフィールと呼ぶがよい。
Ah, it's a good callback. I love it. I love it.
Boni, eha kara Surgaria, I gafta noşarito. San, noşar pyuta, boda kasarno. Surga sasha, tagi potrallo. Zed, gyo enava, an frubal, nitgal leteli. Gafta noşka, dal bosmdaski dak obe haka gre. Desdal, lur frubal sos. Sun kno bada, grel grel. Usar ptuka frubaled. I barid. Batau, golida draknar, lomigo belli. Fuknar, goban lenan,
I would
karsari.
be so sad if I thought this was the end.
So, Sugru Furiposh Kades, Gaftonoshari. Warej Ritna Alsari, Lux An, Sahel Dag, Guari.
I love that. As given the fact that we know that the author has a habit of just expounding upon things, as has been shown to me by the comments on the Discord, Rogue Knight and Alo Savant. So that last little bit is just like, I'm gonna put into the anime exactly what is done in the books, right? On the other hand, I feel like a bittersweetness to that, to the fact that they said there's no limit of stories to be told about the Yob. And it seems fairly evident to me that the light novels ended, right? They're over. It's so there literally is an end to the story told about the Yob. It's making me acutely aware of the fact that in what, 3 seasons from now? I think there's 3 Banners of the Stars and the prologue. We just count the prologue as part of the last season of Banner. But this will be done. And I'm already sad at the prospect of having to lose these characters. I think I always say the thing that ties me the most to a lot of anime is the emotional resonance between the characters. And despite the fact that Lafiel is in such a position as to be restricted in her outward appearance by the mannerisms that she has been like taught, not maybe not since birth, but by the quartermaster and by the society that she's raised in, those same dead-eyed Ob who stared at the destruction of their creators with equal parts fear and love, right? That these people, and then we see her break down that wall throughout a 12 episode series to become the person we just saw here. And that's where the emotional resonance comes from. Not the people that they are, but the journey that we have taken with them. And now to even consider that being anywhere close to an end is where the sadness comes up, it wells up within me. And, I don't know. I don't know. Now I feel sad for not having seen this show when it came out to be able to talk to more people who would have been experiencing it for the first time, right? To be in a community where to read the books together, or I probably wouldn't have read the books. I probably will want to read the books at some point eventually, but I probably would not have read it while watching the anime for the purposes of enjoying the anime as its own thing. But I still would have loved to have been in the community when it came out. And now, granted, this came out before America was really getting this stuff, so I'm assuming there would have been nobody, really, right? There wouldn't even have been bored for this. There wouldn't have been an internet to talk about it on. I can't even imagine. So really, yeah, no, I just realized that my wish there was a non-existent one. I'm experiencing it with the people that would have seen it as much as would ever have been possible right now. So, sorry, I've tangented it off crazy. I think all my thoughts I have said while things were happening. Maybe some of them I cut short to try and keep as much on screen as possible. So I'm going to go into the note-taking section now, and hopefully I haven't missed anything, but I will bring it up again on the second go-through, as I normally do. So let's go ahead and get into the notes. Alright, that was the notes. Unfortunately, I think I got more emotional at the end of the episode taking the notes than I actually did during the actual first time watching. I don't know what it is. The second times always hit me more. Like with Mushoku Tensei, I started watching someone else actually watch the first episodes again, and seeing the things I'd already seen before got me all welling up. I don't know what that is. But yeah, get to that very end where they talk about the mythical beasts, and there's an infinite amount of stories to be told about the Yob, and that same feeling of sadness I got the first time when I said it's sad because I know that there's not an infinite amount of stories because we're not still telling them, hit me again, but this time I wasn't talking, so my mouth wasn't being used to distract my brain, and I just got like real sad. I know the channel's called Stone Faced Reactions, but because you can't tell when I'm being emotional any which way, I've been told my face looks like I'm bored all the time. I assure you. If you ever see me do something like this, it's because I'm so choked up and crying that I can't do anything, but I need to like clear some space. So longtime viewers know that's why I do that sometimes. I'm not like exasperated and to the sky. I'm just trying to clear up some room to breathe. Anyway, to the notes, because that was what this whole thing was for. I really do feel bad for the park mascots. They seem to have been given enough intelligence to do their jobs, enough to feel bad for making kids sad for knowing they aren't what they appear to be. On top of looking adorable with cute voices, if I was going to make a follow-up to the Ob story, it would probably be the rise of these things into sentience. A Skynet meets park mascot, which I'm now realizing would just be Five Nights at Freddy's. Either way, they do suitably fit into the framework of story that the Ob were made for. Just instead of space exploration, these entertain children. Sorry, just moving the thing here. Um, I have to wonder to what end the United Mankind Forces initiated jamming transmissions, especially since we know what's going on in orbit. They were losing badly, if not to the Fatoon, then the rest of the fleet riding in behind it. My best guess would have to be anyway, that whatever ship was in command of the operations in orbit did not want to give the rest of the fleet a chance to surrender, and broadcast a jamming transmission to ensure the fight to the last. But that doesn't really make sense given the fact that they scheduled it to happen, and there's no way for their forces in orbit to have known when the Fatoon would have arrived ahead of schedule. So I guess maybe the scenes we see of battle between the Fatoon and the fleet and their arrival in system is not happening in the exact same time scale as what we see happening with Lafiel and Jinto on the planet. Would be, I guess, my third guess there. Jinto says that the planet has double the gravity that Lafiel is used to. If Suffolkanoff had Earth gravity, that would imply that the OB ship's gravity control systems then only simulate a gravity similar to that of Mars or Mercury. So, if, shot in the dark here, Lafiel weighed 150 pounds on the planet, then she'd only weigh 57 pounds in space, where she's used to. Just to, I don't know what to base guess Lafiel's weight at, so I'm just putting out there to imagine, if you will, if you had any guesses for that. I guess, despite having such a robust police department, the mascots of the amusement park have no concept of guns. They react to destruction of property in a way that recognizes the fact that vandalism happens. But when exposed to a firefight, even the horse is confused by what is going on in front of it. I guess, as an added comment to the statement, that the United Mankind Forces are also trained to fight on horseback. Shooting from a moving vehicle and a moving animal are two different things. But more to the point, the last soldier to fire at Lafiel and Jinto in the horse chase was leaning to one side of the mascot and aiming in a way that showed skill and training. So just an odd point to think that these soldiers are just trained in so many different things. Some of them you might think to be useless. Conceivably, it would have been safer to turn themselves into the local police, as I said, if the battle in space was still ongoing anyway. Then it could be assumed that an eventual Ob victory would turn the local government back in their favor and united mankind ground forces into a rebel movement. At the same time, while I was thinking this while watching, in hindsight, Lafiel and Jinto had no idea the assault was happening, so the local police should really have been just as dangerous to them as everything else. I had initially suspected Lieutenant Kyrite. Kyrite? I had still messing up his name. I'm gonna say Kyrite right now. Well, I guess from now and forever, because I'm never gonna get a second chance. Of being an Ob himself, maybe a spy or an undercover agent, all based on the age comment he made in the car. I feel vindicated for having latched onto it, and I guess I was right about him not being a normal human, since he is a descendant of Silgian, sorry. Also, I apologize twice, I don't know why. First time I've been saying it out loud, so there's that. Just way off on the motivation and reason for being there, though. I get that his own people treat him as badly as the Ob, I say as the Ob, I meant as an Ob, given that they don't want him to get credit for even capturing one. But he still managed to make the rank of lieutenant despite this. I still find myself confused how he could go all these years of service, but seemingly go insane at the first prospect of encountering an Ob. It seems like he would have had to have been serving for long enough to achieve that rank, but this is the first time he goes insane? Just an unimportant note, but the Silesia Republic fell to the United Mankind 52 years before the Hyde system was colonized, according to the timeline given in episode 1, which would be that it was, 172 years ago that the Hyde system was colonized, and 120 years ago that the Silesia Republic fell to the United Mankind. In addition to the Silesia Republic, we also get introduced to the idea of the Camentail Republic. No other info beyond the name and the fact that they made smoke bombs. I can only guess that Min was a collector of some sort. It adds to his general look and the fact that he had this mansion up in the hills. I don't know. He kind of has that feel of like an old-timey game hunter, if you will. So I guess the burial custom is to save space on the planet by not burying people in plots, but to expend far larger amounts of resources by launching them into space and burn up in reentry. We didn't see the rocket after takeoff, but I have to think that they are reusable somehow. Otherwise, this planet's funeral services must be making hand over fist, charging for new rockets every time someone dies. The coffin also didn't go that far from the planet. It would have to eventually be pulled back down by gravity. If everything is working as designed, then you surely wouldn't make coffins as reentry projectiles to strike somewhere on the planet at random. I'd have to assume that they would be designed to burn up along with their occupants. I love Jinto and Lafiel's conversations from the coffin launch onwards, but I'm too dumb to guess what Lafiel said to Jinto right at the launch, where the rocket noises drowned her out, and the subtitles did not cover it. You have is not the start of an emotionally heartfelt sentence that I can think of, but then I'm emotionally stilted enough not to be able to think of many to begin with. I do love Jinto's "I'll be by your side until you ascend the Jade Throne or vanish into plane space." It's quite literally a in sickness or in health bit from those marriage lines. The show consistently gives us everything but and I love you. I have to think that the few episodes we've gotten of the Duchess and her bridge officer have been meant to foreshadow the next season with Jinto and Lafiel. Hopefully, next season is about Jinto and Lafiel still. Given how the episode ends, which makes me feel all that much better for pointing out how the relationship, again, the Duchess and her bridge officer, was so much like Jinto and Lafiel's the first time we saw them. It's horrible to consider that some of the Ob's stoic nature is a learned trait rather than a genetic one. It's been something I've questioned throughout the series, why some act like normal humans and others are so distant. I recognize that there could be a whole gambit of normal human emotions among them, but after the first few episodes, or sorry, very first few encounters, and then that background flashback we got of the Ob's origin story, if you will, I kind of just expected it to be their default state. Now, to know it's a royalty thing instead of a built-in condition of the genetic modification makes it that much worse. Teal was a jerk from the first episode. I hated him then, still hate him now. He overreacted at the start of everything, and apparently his overreactions kept going on for years, right into Rock's grave. Hate that guy. And at the last, I appreciate that despite Lafiel's promises all being a I'll see what I can do, she fulfilled all of them to the best of her ability. Everyone that she promised to do something for, she did something for. And it wasn't like, I'll have to ask my dad, and her dad said no. Those people became vassals of the family, it seems, anyway. I mean, they were operating as like a business of their own, but I assume when they said we could lean on the Cleve family, that meant that they were vassals of it. Otherwise, I guess they could be operating under the purview of the Empress, given that what they did for the other people was essentially what she said she would have to do, in that all ships throughout space operate on the Empress's accord, right? So maybe they're operating on behalf of the Cleo family, but with a deal made with the Empress, that sort of thing. I don't know. Otherwise, though, that's been all my thoughts for this season. I guess it's what you call it, of Crest of the Stars. Overall thoughts, loved it. Ah, in hindsight, I think this is probably one of those anime of a generation. Of a of a generation. I think what I meant to say there was decade, because I don't. How long is a generation? Is that like 20 years, 20 something years? And this would have been. I don't know. I don't know if I could go far as say generation. The problem with saying a generation is I think that's enough time to allow newer styles of anime to be produced, and I think you can get overshadowed by stuff that takes inspiration from you in a generation, whereas in a decade you can shine amongst your peers, right? So I think I'm gonna backtrack and do what I meant to say, which is I think it was an anime of its decade. Now I can't remember what decade this came out in, but I can certainly say that I doubt that there are anything else from that decade to beat this out of a top 10, possibly a top 5. Um, hold on. Hopefully I remember to cut this out. I'm just gonna look up what. No, I'm gonna do it live. I'm just gonna do this live because I don't want to leave this show without having said this. What decade did this come out in? Future me, please fast forward bits that I spend looking stuff up. Okay, let's see. What anime did I watch that also came out in 1990s? So I am very surprised to find out that this came out in 1999. Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, the original Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which I didn't watch, so can't really count that. Memories. Oh man, that was a movie. Ghost in the Shell. There's some tough competition here. Gundam Wing, of course. Neon Genesis Evangelion. That is a touchy subject, and those of you who watched the Nadia Secrets of Blue Water know where I'm gonna fall on that. So let's just not even go there. Watch that if you want. Detective Conan. I do love me some Detective Conan. We're still in the top 10 though. Let's see. That is Pokemon. I wasn't a Pokemon fan. Princess Mononoke. Okay, we have to limit this to TV shows, not movies. So we're cutting out a bunch of the stuff I just said already. Berserk, though. Look, I know a bunch of you are just gonna skip over this. Here's a problematic one. Rurouni Kenshin. Automatically, we're cutting that out because the creator's a pedophile. So fuck him. I don't care how much we loved it as kids. Rurouni Kenshin is ruined because of him. Cowboy Bebop. Jeez. What else we got here? Outlaw Star. I loved Outlaw Star. One Piece. And you know what? There's a list that I'm looking at. Trigun and Serial Experiments Lane. This list doesn't have Crest of the Stars in it. That is a I don't know. That's an injustice. But let's see. My list here. 1, 2. I'm not going to count One Piece. Especially not its original form. 3. Sorry, I've done that thing where I've highlighted something and it's all gone blue. Alright, let me just do this. I think that I have listed less than 10 things, in which case my very face value list still would include Crest of the Stars. I've gone off on a hard tangent. I clearly meant to wrap up here. Here's what I'll do. I went through the effort of looking at this thing, and I did it and mumbled my way through it on screen. I'm going to put it over here somehow, and that's going to be part of this. Please, editing me, don't make me a liar, and please edit those things I told you to edit. Please have listened to this in this, what I'm looking now is a 2-hour and 30-minute recording. Please, even if you don't listen to the whole 2-hour, 30-minute recording, please edit this part. Anyway, thank you all for joining me for the entirety of Crest of the Stars. In case even something happens to me tomorrow, at the very least, you know I watched this whole series, this whole season. I'll catch you next time for Banner of the Stars. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?